Hello everyone, I'm Reet and welcome to my channel. Today we have Saumya with us. Saumya is a PhD scholar in J.N.U. She recently completed her master's from HCU in history and today she's going to share her experiences around PhD proposal and about her PhD interview. So thank you so much Saumya for being here. She's a wonderful person to be honest, and yeah, so I hope we have a great time together. So over to you, and thank you so much again. Okay. So I would want you to introduce yourself, and then we'll begin.
Okay. Hi everyone. Hi Reef. I'm Saumya, and I did my master's in history from University of Hyderabad, and thereafter I gave interview for PhD in J.N.U. and I got selected in women's studies, and currently I'm pursuing my PhD in women's studies.
Okay. So how are you liking JNU? Are you liking JNU? How is it different from Hyderabad
Uh,
University? Well, it's too early to ask.
okay, so Yeah, actually, it's too early to ask. I'm just setting up here. Just shifted to my hostel, and yeah, it's good, but it will take some time for me to cope up with HCU FOMO.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Okay, so Soumya, the first question is like, what was your topic around which you took to the panel to the interview, and how much time did you take to prepare the proposal, and what are the challenges that you faced, and because you got qualified early, that is in your June only, no, sorry, July, August only, right? So what was the strategy and what was the planning?
Okay, so I'll be very honest. My topic was about the structural invisibility of Khabar Lahariya journalists. So I'll give a little bit of background. So Khabar Lahariya is basically a Dalit or Adivasi women-led newspaper currently published in Bundelkhand region of Uttar Pradesh. Although they're being called as journalists, they produce a very good amount of journalism and news, but legally and policy wise, they are not protected. So, because of that, the problems they face due to the lack of legal codes and laws, although laws and codes are available, but they are not applied to the rural extent and the geography they come from. So basically, it will be a legal and policy based study, and in order to comprehend it, I will also try to go for an ethnographic study. That is the current topic I'm planning to work on. And If I talk about the time frame, so I was really very confused and was not able to complete my proposal in such a time. But around 15 days, I guess, I gave to comprehend the idea. And also, yes, one thing, I just wrote down my proposal in last 2 days. I'll be very honest because I was not able to comprehend how to write, how to do literature review. But yeah, also I had decided to do MA dissertation. So it also helped me a lot in order to balance the proposal and everything. And if I talk about challenges, here in women's studies, or if I say in sociology in general, I can face challenges in proposal because I come from a history background. Um, in terms of sources and the kind of work we try to research on, history has a very strict rule about that. So because of that, I had faced a lot of problems. So when I came to sociology and women's studies, it was very helpful for me because ethnographic studies are also welcome this way. And my study is also an ethnographic in some way. So I didn't face this problem as such about the sources and everything.
Okay, thank you so much for that crisp answer. Now, like, how many places did you apply for, at least in JNU or otherwise also? Like, how many places did you apply for, and yeah, and what are the centers in JNU that you?
Okay, before J.N.U, I had also applied for HU and I gave entrance. I got interview call, but I didn't give interview because of some personal reasons. And after that, in JNU, it was my first offline interview. Before that, I had also given interview for Central University of Karnataka, where I could not get admission. And after that, JNU was my first offline interview. And in JNU also, I had applied for three centers in women's studies and also in Center of Historical Studies, which is my specialization in medieval history. And also, I had applied for social exclusion.
Thank you so much. Now, what was the interview like in the Center for Women's Studies, and what was the panel like? How were the professors and all of that, timing and all of that, and the number of seats also? Because Center for Women's Studies has really one or two seats, maybe. This is what I can recall at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this time it had a lot of seats. There were 10 seats in women's studies department. And if I talk about interview, my interview was very good, very chill. Panel was so supportive. And even if when I was not able to recall some of the answers or some sort of responses, they were so supportive that they were answering on behalf of me, and it was so good. They were so positive. And interview, if I talk about the timings, it went for around 12 to 15 minutes, and they asked questions connecting to my proposal. And yes, one more point, that Khabar Lahariya is an emerging newspaper, and is in currently a lot of news are being made around the Khabar Lahariya. So they asked questions regarding that, and it went for around 15 minutes. So
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you so much. And what are the questions that were asked? What around your proposal only, but then tools, methodology, and all of that.
Yeah. So first, I was asked to introduce what I'm planning to do. So on that, I shortly just comprehended what I'm planning to do, methodology, literature review, and everything. And also, some of the questions were asked for my bibliography. So one of the article I had covered from Nivedita Menon's ma'am. So directly, one of the panel member asked a question on that, and methodology also, they also asked me about the caste I'm planning to use, because Khabar Lahariya journalist comes from marginalized communities and castes. So especially they are from Dalit communities or Muslim or marginalized women. So I had also talked to one of the journalists working under Khabar Lahariya. So one of the professor asked what type of questions did you ask her, and what were the responses. And yes, as I come from a history background, one of the panel member was also from history. So she asked questions related to women's studies and history, how journalism emerged during colonial rule, and how women came into the arena of men's journalism, as we call sometimes, that journalism as such has been called as men's field. So she asked so many questions, and she also counted a lot during that conversation. So yeah, that was all about questions and everything.
Okay, so this is just the last question. For people who are going to apply this, I think this semester JNU will open up its applications. So you have what tips do you want to give to people who are applying? Because PhD is such a taxing process, right? And we
Yeah.
fret so much. There's so much stress whether we would get in or not. So what are the tips that you want to give to the people about research proposal, about what should be the approach, and what actually it should be based on your experience only? And yeah, so that.
Yeah, so actually, I'll make it very clear that I'm very new to this field. I'm just entering into the arena of research. But as much as I could understand, first thing here, they have made it compulsory that if you don't have JRF, it's difficult for you to get even the interview calls. So I had many friends who were more talented than me, but they could not get interview call because of the less percentile, or they did not have JRF also. So first necessity is to have JRF. And second one, if I talk about proposals, so I would suggest you all, whoever is planning to go for PhD, even if you are not able to answer the questions, or you do not have comprise your proposal as such, they are not going to bother you for that. They only need the idea. So idea, I feel ideas should be based on your experiences. For example, I come from the same place where I come from UP, and I have heard about Khabar Lahariya. So it has given me a sense of familiarity. So familiarity is something which works a lot when you're deciding your topic, because you can have your experience also. It can be termed as biasness also, but I see subjectivity is also strength. So, try to get some of the methodological aspects of research before stepping into the proposal writing or literature review, because it will help you, or it will give you an idea how you will have to write. And one more thing, some of my friends also made that mistake, that they have written 3,000 words of proposal. So you don't need to do that. Maximum you can make your proposal for 1,200 words or 1,500 words. So make it crisp, but whatever you make, have the clear understanding of that particular thing. They can ask questions from anywhere, from your bibliography, from your title, and the terms you use in your title, the methodology, how you're going to do that, and everything. So be clear about that.
Thank you so much, Soumya. That is actually going to help a lot to people who are seeing this, and people would take a lot from it and would actually implement it while they make a proposal or in the interview. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks a lot.
Thank you, Reed. Thank you so much for having me. And you're doing so great. It will also obviously help a lot of students who are going into that field of research in upcoming years or semesters. So it was very fun having with you.
Thank you, same here. Thank you so much. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.